Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to talk about anti-cancer and anti-aging food storage containers and utensils. Coming up. Hi everyone, this is Ernesto from Attaboy Cowboy, and on this channel we give you health and wealth tips to help you become more successful. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Before I get started, I just wanted to share a story with you. My mom was asking me, why am I taking the time to make these videos? I'm really busy, I have a lot of things going on, and what's the purpose? What's the point of this? And I said, that's a good question. So basically, I work around a lot of really intelligent people. I work with doctors, nurses, therapists, scientists, educators, professors, all sorts of stuff. And these people are really smart, and we have a lot of really interesting conversations. But some of the common things that I see that most people are not real familiar with are personal finance and issues with the environment, and how exactly the environment is impacting your health and your wealth. So my goal in these videos is try to make a relationship or a correlation between these things so that people will be more proactive in taking care of their health, growing their wealth, and taking care of the environment at the same time. Because you can absolutely balance all three of them. And that's why I'm going to show you folks some of my tricks and tips to help you do that. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to talk about is phthalates. Phthalates is a chemical that's added to plastics to help make them soft. So if you ever see one of these containers are soft, or if you touch like a bag of chips or anything, like a bag of crackers, and it's like a soft bag, that has phthalates in it, versus something like this that's hard. It's hard plastic. This has less phthalates in it, and that's so that they meet their purposes. This needs to be hard, and this needs to be soft, so you can move it and you can wash it and you can get into the cracks and everything else. The issue is the phthalates and another chemical called BPA, bisphenol A, are in almost all plastics, and they leach. They leach into your food. So I'm going to give you an example, because my cousin was telling me, hey, you know what? I have microwave safe containers, so I'm good. I said, all right, let me show you something. You see this rock here? This rock is millions of years old. And to date rocks and relics and pyramids and ancient things, they use something called carbon-14 dating. Carbon is basically like charcoal that you use to cook your food when you have your barbecues. They use this process where they add the carbon to it, and they measure the rate at which the carbon is breaking off from the substance. And that tells them that how old that thing is. That's how they can get like crosses and broken vases and stuff like that when they do archaeology, and they say, okay, this is 100,000 years old or 2,000 years old, or whatever the case might be. So everything leaches. Everything has something that leaches off. And the reason being is that we are all made up out of atoms. So atoms are kind of like this bag of apples here. They're always moving around, okay? So they move around, even solid things like the rock I just showed you, or a human being. We're made up of millions, billions, trillions of atoms. And they're always moving around, but there's something kind of like this bag holding them together, right? And usually it's a magnetic pull between the atoms. So that everything's cool until you heat them up. That's why when you heat up plastics, like in a microwave, you're gonna heat those atoms up, and they're gonna start vibrating and moving faster. And that's gonna cause some to kind of start breaking off. And that causes leaching. So I have these containers here that I got from the restaurant, and they say microwave safe, reusable, dishwasher safe. It says there. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, so that makes you think that you're good, right? It's not. If you've ever put a foam cup or a piece of plastic in the microwave and seen it crumple up when you microwave it, those are obviously not microwave safe because they melt. Now this is not going to melt because it's microwave safe, but that doesn't mean it's safe to eat. It's going to cause it to leach. It's going to leach BPA and bisphenol A and phthalates into your food. So you're going to be eating that stuff. Now the reason why you want to avoid that, there's a lot of it in our environment these days. It's in everything. That's my goal. That's what I've been sharing with everyone. It's in your healthcare products, your food, your kitchen stuff, everything. You want to avoid it because it does damage to your endocrine system, the hormones in your body. The top two that it really does damage to are estrogen, which is a predominant hormone in females, and testosterone in males. And that's going to have a lot of issues with your reproductive organs. With women, it's going to cause you to grow facial hair. It's going to cause wrinkles. It's going to cause cellulitis. It's going to cause weight gain. It's going to cause irregular menstrual cycles. Pretty much everything that a woman does naturally in terms of her body is going to be altered. And for men, it's going to cause the same effect. It's going to affect your testosterone, so it's going to affect your sperm count, so it's going to affect your fertility rates. And if you have offspring, you have kids, this has a lot of damage for fetuses. So if you want to have kids or you have kids, you want to protect them as much as possible by keeping them away from this. The issue is that females and males, we store these chemicals in our body because they're not organic. They're not like a piece of apple or a grass or a piece of meat or something where your body just digests and kicks it out. These are made in laboratories. So that stuff just keeps storing in your body. And then when you go to have a kid, it's damaging your eggs and your sperm cells. So it's going to cause birth defects. So really bad. You really want to avoid this stuff. Now, let me get into the economic part of this. So I was talking to my roommate, and he buys these containers. He paid $10 for these. You know, it's basically the same exact thing. I use these. These are free. I get these out of the trash when my roommate orders Thai food. They say the same thing on them. Reusable, microwave safe, dishwasher safe. Except these are free. So these don't have to be shipped over from another country, causing more damage to the environment. And I'm recycling. And I just keep using them and using them. Remember, there isn't an endless supply of things in the world. There's a limit to everything. They say if everybody in the world lived the way people do in the United States, we would need 13 more planet Earths because we don't have enough metals and chemicals and natural resources. So we want to try to limit the amount of stuff that you're using every day. You know, some people are like, hey, well, you know, I can't do anything about global warming. I don't have money to buy solar panels, or I can't buy an electric car. That's nonsense. Those are big ticket items. Sure, if you can do that, it's great, but 90% of people can't afford that. Probably like 98%. So you can do simple things like this in your daily life that will have a big impact. So I'm not buying these. I just reuse these. And whenever I'm done with them, I just recycle them. I throw them in the recycling bin. But remember, not a lot of the stuff that you throw in your recycling bin is being recycled. China is not accepting trash from the rest of the world anymore. They used to take it over there and remake it into toys and other stuff they would ship back to us, but they're not doing that anymore. So they say most of the stuff, like 90% of the stuff you throw in the trash for recycling, is actually getting burned or buried. So don't rely on recycling. Don't rely on someone else to do something for you. You can do this. You can just use these containers. They're very effective. It's going to save you a lot of money, and you're not going to have to be worrying about this stuff leaching. Now, this does have BPA and phthalates. I don't put hot food in it, and I don't microwave it. If I'm going to cook food, I put it on something that's glass, and I use ceramic plates and stuff. Hopefully without paints, because paints will leach lead into your food. So you want to avoid that. Just get plain colored plates or glass. Clear glass is the best. Heat your food, eat your food. If you need to store it, take for lunch, wait till it cools down before you put it in here. Or if you want, you can get a piece of aluminum foil, but then you're wasting aluminum foil. You can line the inside with a piece of aluminum and then put your food on it if you're in a hurry. And that reminds me, when it comes to aluminum foil is okay. But again, it can still leach. You're going to get aluminum in your brain. That's going to cause dementia. Definitely do not use plastic wrap. Plastic wrap is poison. It's like rat poison. It's really soft. That has a lot of phthalates. And I see people, I go to parties and I see like they have some warm, whatever it is, some bread or something, they'll wrap it in plastic wrap. Oh man, I don't want to eat it anymore because that stuff leached all over your food. You have phthalates all over it. It's really toxic, so I try to avoid that. Now, when it comes to my drinking containers, this is my roommate's. Now, this is really cool. I'll give him credit because he got this at the thrift store, so at least he didn't buy more stuff that's gonna get leached out of the earth, right? Cause more damage. So he's reusing. But an even better thing for his health would be to just use glass. So I use, for my drinks, I use these. I got these out of the trash, I recycled them. These are my shakes I make every morning, my health shakes. I put them in this jar and it's glass. Glass is the best. Glass does not leach anything. It's easy to clean and it's antimicrobial. It's not gonna store bacteria, any of that stuff. You use plastic, it's gonna store stuff. It's hard to get things out of the corners. And then you're gonna have bacteria growing on there, funguses, and that's gonna go into your food. So you have to think about that too. Look at all the crevices on here. You know, you might not be able to get into that with your cleaner when you're using your sponge or something. So that's another thing that's good about using glass. It's very aseptic. It's easy to clean. You can clean it really easily and you don't have to worry about that stuff. And this is top quality. Look how thick this glass is. I use this to make my drinks. And again, I'm not spending that money. I'm using it for investing or investing in solar panels or whatever. And I'm improving my health. So that's storage containers and beverage containers. Now let's go over utensils. These are really popular. I see them everywhere. My roommate got these at the dollar store. They're these plastic spatulas. Well, these are like the microwave safe containers. They're not gonna melt, but they're definitely gonna leach. So every time you're scooping your food, you're scooping yourself a spoonful of BPA and phthalates to eat. So you don't want that. Try to avoid this stuff. You can get these. These are also from the dollar store. These are made of bamboo. You know, and they use other types of wood. Bamboo is renewable. It grows really fast. It's basically a grass. So it grows like a weed and they can make hard things out of it. This is great. So this isn't gonna be toxic for you. Again, like I said, for plates, I use regular plates because I don't see too many things I can use that are glass, but I get them at the thrift store. So again, you're recycling. Try to get stuff that's white, like this, plain colored. Anything you have that has colors, it's gonna leach paint or lead or other chemicals into your food. Remember, most of these are made in China, and you know, like any business, they want to be as productive and make as much revenue as they can. So they're gonna use the lowest quality. And you can see here, this plate's even chipped here. That chip is gonna expose whoever eats on this to eating more lead and other chemicals. So you don't want to use things that have coloring on them. Use plain colored plates. Same thing with your soups, with your bowls, everything. Use glass or ceramic. Don't use plastic. Now, when it comes to cups, this is great. You know, my roommate got these. This is a nice cup. But is it really necessary? And if you're trying to be conscious about the environment, why not just reuse one of your jars? Look at this. This is thicker. This thing is not going to break. This was from peanut butter. You could hear that. And look at this. This is going to break really easy. And I think he paid about $3 for this. You're not going to spend any money. You're going to be recycling, and it's better for your health. Because again, if you look at this, it has coloring. I don't use food containers. Don't put your food in anything that has colors in it, like cups or spoons or plates or anything like that. Because then you have a chance of it leaching into your food. That's going to cause problems with your testosterone and your estrogen. That's why we're having a lot of people with issues with hair loss and irregular weight gain and stuff like that. Now here's a cup that my roommate saved, and look how soft that is. It's bright red, it's blue. I wouldn't drink anything out of this. I actually just wouldn't even use it. This is totally toxic, this type of cup. And unfortunately, these are the kind of cups that people give to their kids. You know, has the cartoon characters on it and stuff. You're filling your kid's body up with BPA and phthalates, and you're gonna cause them to have a lot of issues. In fact, when I worked in the schools, I'd go see kids. The kids are really obese, and they have a lot of issues with attention. And I think a lot of it, aside from the poor diet, is their exposure to this. When they go eat those Happy Meals or those, those the meals that they get at the restaurants, they use these bright colored cups to attract them. And this is going to do damage to their body. Now, I also use containers. Now, somebody gave me these supplements. I use them up, and this is really good. I use this for traveling. So I'll put my creams, my lotions, whatever it is, because you have to stay under a 3.4 ounce limit for going on planes. I just reuse it. I don't go buy travel containers. I just use this. Now in my kitchen, to try to avoid getting roaches and moss and all that stuff, I use these old containers for storage instead of regular cookie jars like the ones we had in the old days. If you look in here, I have my oatmeal, my barley and stuff. I just store it in here. This is airtight, and I don't have to worry about getting moss or anything, my food getting damaged. That way I'm not spending money on containers, and I'm not doing more damage to the environment. Even like my protein powders and stuff, I reuse the containers. I have flour in here, so I'll use these to store stuff in. You don't need to spend money on buying this kind of stuff. I mean, it sure looks nice, and if you really gotta have it, go buy it at a thrift store so you're recycling. But otherwise, you can just use stuff in your house to recycle. Plastic bags, sandwich bags, no. I got this bag for my for my tortillas, and I just reuse it. I put my sandwiches in. I have a sandwich in there. I just keep reusing this, and then I wash it. I reuse it. Again, it's still gonna leach, but at least I'm not causing more damage. And I don't let my food have direct contact with it. I actually do have a piece of foil in there that I recycled from a cake I made, and I wrap my sandwich in it, so there's no contact with the plastic. And here I have my lunch. I have some lentils, and I have it in my container. It's all set to go. If I need to heat it up, I just bring a ceramic bowl with me. I pour my lentils in there, and I heat it up in a microwave at work. But usually I just eat my food cold. I try not to use microwaves too much. That's another story, but I just use these. So the point is, you want to try to avoid having contact with as many of these chemicals as you can. And the way you're going to do that is by recycling and being more conscientious about what you're using. And when you can, try to cut back and not use as much, so you can use that money to invest in your health. What you can do is like go on a nice trip, buy yourself an air filter, get some solar panels, do anything like that that's going to be beneficial for you to help you chill out and relax. Okay, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please comment below. I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.